Hi everyone, welcome to the second part of the video series on implementing a sales data processing scenario with Choreo. In this part, we will focus on adding API management features to the sales data collection API that we have developed in the first video. So in the first video, we developed a REST API to collect sales data over the internet and to publish that into a Kafka cluster. In this video, we will discuss how to add security and API governance features to this API so that only these shopping outlets can invoke this API. For that, we have to expose this as a managed API in Choreo so that we can have OAuth2-based security there. Then for each shopping outlet, we can create an application. So we can register each shopping outlet as a consumer for this API. Then from that consumer, we can get a token for invoking this API so that whenever a shopping outlet invokes this API, it has to use this token. So with that, our Choreo system can also identify which shopping outlet is invoking this API. So to do that, now we are done with the implementation. Let's commit this code. So you can give a commit message. Now we can push this to Choreo managed repository. Now once you do that, when you go to the initial API view, you can see that this will be updated. So if I go to billing data API again, so you can see my updated implementation is here. Now from this, I can deploy this into the development environment. And you can see that it shows the progress of the building process and as well as the deployment process. Now it is deployed to the development environment. Now it also shows a security header or a key which can be used to invoke this API. So we can connect to this URL from any remote machine with this header and invoke this API. But we want to do a bit more than that. That means we want to export this as a fully managed API with OAuth2-based security. To do that, we can go to the Manage tab and give all the API related information for this API. This gives an overall view of the API. Here you can see the lifecycle status. So currently it is only created, that means not published. Then who are the consumers of this API? Currently we have 0 consumers. And what are the security protocols configured for this? So by default, whenever we publish that, it is configured with the OAuth2 protocol. Now this section shows the things that we can configure. So first go to the usage plans section. So here it shows what are the usage plans that are available for applications that use this API. So in our case, applications or consumers of this API are shopping outlets. So we can assume that any shopping outlet does not have more than, let's say, 2000 requests per minute, because we can assume that there won't be more than 2000 people checking out during a minute. So we can disable unlimited tier for the usage plan and enable the silver and bronze plans, which have 2000 and 1000 requests per minute limits. So this is useful for preventing overloading by a misbehaving system. For example, if there's a shopping outlet where its systems are misbehaving and sending continuous requests to our central system, these policies will block those. Then we can also configure security settings. So here we can configure the host configurations, that is, what are the HTTP methods allowed, what are the hosts allowed, and so on. And here under this, we can configure application level security. So at the moment, we only support OAuth2-based security, which is the standard method. Now we can also associate documents with this API. So the purpose of associating documents is to facilitate API users to get information about this API. So let's add the document as well. So let's call this how to publish. So this is just the name. And we can associate a URL as the document, or we can write the document inline as well. So here, let's say that we are writing this inline. So we can write anything here. It supports formatting as well. For example, if I want to bold this, you can use that. Now I add the document and I save that, so that API consumers will be able to see this. Now if I go to consumers view, you can see that there are no consumers at the moment. And now once I complete configuring the API, I can go to the lifecycle view and publish this. Now the API is published. Now I can go to the developer portal, which is targeted for the API consumers, and see how this API appear there. This is the Choreo developer portal. So there you can see two main sections, APIs and applications. So if I go to APIs, we can see all the currently published APIs. So in our case, this is the API that we just published, which is the billing data API. So I can go inside and see the details. This is the endpoint that API consumers should use to invoke this API. Now, if I go to documentation section, I can see the documentation that I have given in the publisher portal. So this is the sample documentation that we have given. So I can attach any number of documents from the publisher portal and it will appear here. Now, if I go to SDK section, it shows options for downloading clients for different environments. For example, I can download the Java client or Android client for invoking this API. Now, before actually invoking this API, we have to register our application in our system, in our API platform or the Choreo platform. So in our case, as we discussed here, we want to have a separate application for each shopping outlet so that we can track which shopping outlet has sent which events, as well as we can limit events sent by different shopping outlets. For that, that means we have to register an application for each shopping outlet. So let's say that I'm registering an application for the shopping outlet located in South Bank. So we can name those the applications with the location of the shopping outlet. And this is the per session limit of requests. So let's make it unlimited. Now we create the application. Now with this application, I can subscribe to any of the available APIs. Now in this case, this is the API that I want to use. So I can select any of the usage plans. So let's say that this South Bank shopping outlet does not have much traffic. So Silver plan is enough for me. So I can add that subscription. Now I am subscribed for this billing data API so that I can send billing events to this API. But before doing that, I have to generate keys for my application. So let's generate credentials. Now you can see it generates the consumer key and the consumer secret. Now what I have to do is that I have to copy these two credentials and embed those in each POS machine in my shopping outlet, so that this POS machine can use these keys to connect with the Choreo platform and get tokens for invoking APIs. Now for the testing purpose, let's generate a test token. Now you can see the test token that is generated. I'll copy that. Then I can use this token to invoke this API from a remote application. So for invoking this, I will use my REST client and my application URL, I have to copy that from here. So this is my API URL. I'll use that. And my API method is billing data. Now I can use the token that I just copied to invoke this. Now for the payload, I can give any variation of this payload. So let's copy that. And to differentiate, let's use different quantities. So let's say I want 150 of this. I sold 150 of this. And let's say 35 of these. Now if I send this Choreo API should publish that into our Kafka cluster so that the event should come here in the subscriber. So let's invoke that. Yeah. So it gives the success message. Now if I go here, you can see the subscriber has also received the message. That means our Choreo API has published that event to the Kafka cluster so that our subscriber can receive it. Now, if we change the token, if you use a wrong token, then you can see that it will give an authentication error. So that only the authorized parties can use this API. And that is the first part of this application, which is to build the REST API to receive billing data and to publish that into the Kafka cluster. In upcoming videos, we will consider the other parts of this application.